HoopsOnLane.com Fan Podcast, Episode 49, Indiana PreGame.
Hoops on Lane Fan Podcast is sponsored by About Face Cosmetic Therapy Center because basketball season is also laser hair removal season.
You're listening to Hoops on Lane, a fan-produced pregame and postgame podcast about the Ohio State University men's basketball team. Visit hoopsonlane.com or subscribe where you listen to podcasts for all the latest episodes and information. Now here's your host, Dave Horning.
Greetings, Hoops fans. This is Dave Horning for HoopsOnLane.com Fan Podcast with a preview of the next Ohio State Buckeyes game, a home game against the Indiana Hoosiers coming up this Tuesday, January 30th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Schott. The game will be televised on ESPN2 and on radio at The Fan 97.1 FM. This is a huge game for both teams. Indiana still has hopes of earning an invitation to the NCAA tournament, but they need a signature win, and beating Ohio State, now 17th in the AP poll, in Columbus would be that signature win. Ohio State needs a win following its first Big Ten loss of the season, losing at home last Thursday night to Penn State. Ohio State has 8 remaining Big Ten games, 4 at home and 4 away. However, the next 2 are at home, against Indiana on Tuesday and against Illinois on Super Bowl Sunday. That means the last 6 games have 2 home games and 4 away games for the Buckeyes. And the away games are at Purdue, at Penn State, at Michigan, and at Indiana. There isn't an easy road game in that stretch, and it will look bad to the NCAA committee if Ohio State falters down the stretch. A big win by Indiana in Columbus followed up by a win in Bloomington would provide Indiana with an argument that they are the overdog and deserve to be invited before Ohio State. A win Tuesday night by Ohio State puts us ahead of Indiana and whatever hopes they have of gaining an NCAA invitation. The team that loses this game may not get invited to the NCAA tournament. Indiana's current record in the Big Ten is 5 wins and 5 losses, tied with Penn State for 6th place. Ohio State's Big Ten record is 9 wins against 1 loss, sole possession of 2nd place. In the team rankings website of all 351 Division I men's basketball programs, Indiana is ranked number 113 and Ohio State is ranked number 24. Indiana's overall record is 12 wins against 10 losses, so they cannot afford any more losses. Indiana's last game was Sunday, a home loss to Purdue, but they played Purdue tough, staying close the entire game, actually leading at halftime, before losing by the score of 74-67. Indiana got a big game from their best player, number 13 Juwan Morgan, a 6'7 junior forward who had to play center on defense against Purdue's 2 big men, both 7 foot 2 inches tall, Isaac Haas and Matt Harms. Those 2 Purdue centers combined for 30 points on 12 of 19 shooting. With 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the Purdue-Indiana game and the score tied at 62, Juwan Morgan picked up his 4th foul and could no longer aggressively defend. Isaac Haas made 6 of the next 7 points for Purdue, and Purdue built a 5-point lead with a minute and a half left. On offense, Indiana's Juwan Morgan scored 26 points on 10 of 18 shooting. He is not usually a 3-point threat, but I'm not taking anything for granted as of late. Penn State made 11 of 14 3-point shots against the Buckeyes last Thursday, and Nebraska's James Palmer scored 34 points in the game before that, so anything can happen at the Schott. Ohio State will need to get Juwan Morgan in foul trouble so that Caleb Wesson can score down low. Wesson will need to stay out of foul trouble, so look for Jayshawn Tate or Keita Bates-Diop to guard number 13, Juwan Morgan. I'd also like to see Kyle Young or Musa Jallow in the game to defend Morgan at times. Indiana's lineup does not have a true center, as their best big man, 6'10 freshman Deron Davis, injured his Achilles tendon earlier this season in practice and is reported as being out for the year. I do not expect to see number 20, Deron Davis, in the lineup Tuesday night for Indiana. Here is the starting lineup for Indiana. Number 13, 6'7 junior forward Juwan Morgan, their leading scorer, averaging 16 points a game. Number 3, 6'7 freshman forward Justin Smith. Number 15, 6'6 junior guard Zach McRoberts. Number 4, 6'3 senior guard Robert Johnson, their leading 3-point threat. That's number 4, Robert Johnson. And finally, number 2, 6'1 senior guard Josh Newkirk. Indiana's best 3-point shooter, Robert Johnson, is making 34% of his 3-point shots. Against Purdue, Indiana made only 3 of 16 3-point shots for 19%. So if Indiana lights it up from behind the arc like Penn State did, then I'll probably pull out what little hair I have left. The Buckeyes must defend the 3-point shot early and often. Indiana is coached by Archie Miller in his first year at Indiana. Since Indiana does not have a true center, look for the Buckeyes to feed the ball down low to Caleb Wesson, who could have a monster game if he stays out of foul trouble, which he did in the last game against Penn State. If the ball goes in down low to Caleb, he can kick it out for the open three-point shots by C.J. Jackson, Cam Williams, and Keita Bates-Diop. So either way, look for the Buckeyes to feed the ball down low at the start of each offensive possession. Ohio State's starting lineup will be number 34, 6'9" freshman center Caleb Wesson. Number 33, 6'7" junior power forward Keita Bates-Diop. Number 15, 6'2" senior shooting guard Cam Williams. Number 3, 6'1" junior shooting guard or point guard C.J. Jackson. And number 1, 6'4" senior Jayshawn Tate, point guard or small forward. Ohio State is coached by Chris Holtmann in his first year. The home crowd at the Penn State game was great. The crowd size is increasing, and the Buckeyes are playing great at home. Tickets are still available against Indiana, so let's come out for this game. It's a 7 o'clock start, so it won't be a late game. Let's fill up the shot. This is Dave Horning for HoopsOnLane.com Fan Podcast. Go Bucks, and I'll see you at the game.